Hey, morning, morning, morning. 5:22, man. 2 days left. We get the holiday. All right. Probably gonna see things slow down a little bit here. Volume should drop off. Um, Urban Outfitters. Look at this guy on the move here. All right. Higher this morning. Closed at 59.60. So you got some retail names that are moving up a little bit. Nike hired prices. Their stock should go up. Right. We'll see. Um, what's to say? Uh, if you watch on the, I don't know if anybody watches the Bloomberg, but look at the headline. Look at the headline this morning. It says bond market warns Trump, Congress of dangers of a swelling deficit. All right, one big bill. All right, it's going to add a lot of money to our debt. All right. Um, One thing that the media will never tell you, they will never, they will always say to you, buy stocks, buy stocks. What do they not talk about? They don't like to talk about negative stuff because if you do talk negative, then you become a negative person. This is the stock market. Here's your VIX, okay? Um, I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. I got the same name on Twitter as I do on YouTube. It's at John G8403 at Gmail. You can follow me on there. I put a lot of gapper lists out in the morning. Um, I talk about the markets. I talk about what's going on. And I'm going to go through a couple of names here. I'm going to save this VIX for the end. Urban Outfitters. All right. Good numbers. All right. People still spending money. That's it, right? So proof right here. All right. So 60.87 was the high yesterday, and came down with a shooter day on a down day, right? She came shooter down. Didn't really. It's not a good shooter. As you get to know me more, you're going to see how picky I am about these things. 2-1 inside, 3-1 inside. That's the only actionable signal other than this 90. And again, I'll talk about these 90s a lot because they're going to be inside a lot, right? They're a dime a dozen. All right, so don't get too excited about it. Now, when you see an inside like this on the week, that's something, right? But guess what? That's going to expand this morning. All right, so let's take it up. All right, so Urban coming up all the way up here to 69 bucks. 69.50, we got expansion. We're taking everything out here. All right, so we're taking out a lot of time frames now. Okay, that's when exhaustion risk becomes real. When there's no bars defined anymore. Okay, that's real exhaustion risk. I will say exhaustion risk. I will say that. Okay, because I watch the markets close and I watch the futures close, and we'll see. So you're going to hear me say that. So anyhow, this is triangle out. So everything's triangled out here. I wouldn't go chasing Urban Outfitters up here. Okay. United Healthcare down again. All right. More troubles with United Healthcare. All right. They tried to get this bounce here, and now we're back down again. Now, we're not going down to the lows of 248. All right, so we're taking everything out here. All right, so but we are coming back now to 295. All right, so we're just barely taking day down here. All right, and it's already starting to pop back up a little bit. They're a little lower this morning, but they're hovering in there. They're staying in sync. They're not moving the week too much. They're not moving the month too much. Right, this damage has already been done. All right, so and then there's Humana. Humana's a little lower there as well. All right, Humana. All right. Snowflake had some earnings. Humana was 232. All right, so these aren't horrible. This one's a little better. All right, so looking for the triangle out back out on Humana and United Healthcare. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for that reversal to triangle out again, and then see if you can start it all over again and see if you can do it again. Okay, so there's that. Snowflake had some earnings out yesterday after the close. It got up to 201 on the overnight, 201. All right, from 179.12. Came in considerably from that, but we're gonna be moving a week up here big time. All right, where are we at here now? 196, 196. All right, so we're coming up in this range here. Now, we don't have exhaustion risk, okay? And what's this here? 194.66. So we're triangling this out. And we might be hunting for this guy. All right, so that's what we got, and then we go up there. All right, so our next move on Snowflake is 212. All right, that is not too far away, to be honest with you. All right, so we'll see if it can get expansion here. It's going to have to get through. If it's all taking all this out now, just know that this morning. All right, and 196 right in here. Okay, so this guy first, it looks like. All right, that would be 202.71. All right, we'll see if Snowflake can keep moving there. Abercrombie and Fitch, ANF, little was higher. Now she come back in a little bit. All right, so 72.42 is the close. This one's looking to take day down slightly. See if ANF can come down. Talk about the retailers. Talk about the banks. The banks a little bit better now this morning. No. 50.29. We closed at XLF. Sorry about that. All right, XLF shooter coming back down. Shooter back down here. And now trying to pop up on overnight. It was a little higher, 50.34. All right, so we're going to be inside here. All right, so here's the thing. All right, SPY. I'm gonna go right to the future. SPY. All right. Numbers just came out on jobless claims. Okay, and as you can see here, they ran up and they puked. All right, now they're trying to get coming back up a little bit. So here's where we are, guys. We're going to be inside day at 582 and change. All right, we're really close to yesterday's lows. All right, when looking to take that 2-2 back down now. Okay, Diamonds was I think that Diamonds was the one that triggered everything yesterday with this Dow. All right, so where are we at now here? 417.64. That's a 2-day down on your Diamonds coming back down. All right, we're looking for this broad formation. Well, we're starting to come back into here, right here. All right, so we're going to start chewing up into this area, and then you got this over here as well. So you're going to have to get through all this business. Now you're talking like 415, 413. That area, we'll see if we can start to move down that way. We'd like to get that moving that way, but we don't know if we can do that. All right. Triple Qs, Google is better this morning. Amazon is slightly higher. Apple's lower. All right. Meta is up up by $1. Pretty much unchanged. All right. NVIDIA is up a little. All right. So the Mag 7 isn't running for the door by any stretch of the imagination. They're just slightly higher coming in on the day. There's your Qs. All right, now we got the jobless claims number now coming back a little bit better here. So you're gonna get more strength from the Qs for sure. All right, so that we know that that's going to be the case. We also know that we turned it outsider yesterday and flipped it and made it red and go down. Like I said, Rob would be over head and over heels over that one. He'd be barking about that one for sure. I talked about that yesterday after the close. All right, so this is what I say. I think here, what we do over here at Sepia, I'm looking at the rest of this market saying we're selling rips, man. We're selling rips. What I want you to really watch is I want you to not listen to the media telling you to buy stocks all the time. I mean, sometimes there's a time for it. and sometimes there's not. We got to watch these 10 years, okay? Watch these 10 years. We're back up to 460 here now, okay? This is what's going to make the difference, all right? They had a bond auction yesterday. They had to raise rates. When they're trying to sell bonds and they can't get interest, they got to raise the rates so people will want to get involved. All right, they're going to want juicier. They're going to want juicier yields. So we're going to watch and continue as these bond auctions continue to go. We watch those. All right, so it's important. All right, I beg of you to keep an eye on these 10 years and on those 20s, the TLTs. Okay, slightly unchanged there on your tilts on your 20 years. Okay, and then I want to talk about the VIX. All right, now, so the VIX has got this gap. It's got this gap right here, right? So it already triangled it out on the weekly. Okay, that was yesterday, right? 21. What did we get up to? We got up to 2207. 2207. Okay. Now the VIX has made a nice move on the overnight. Now as the market starts to get closer to opening, we're starting to see some people that are coming back in. The market's been lower. Get in there, right? Market's down, get in there. And that's good, right? That's what people want to do. They think that the stocks are down, they want to get back in the market. All right, so I'm going to be watching the VIX pretty closely here as the next few weeks transitions and we continue to move forward. All right, I'm not going to sit here and ring the bell and say that the market's going to crash. That's not going to happen. But what I'm saying is that I'm definitely going to be selling rips. All right, we saw what happened yesterday on the Qs. All right, my number was 523.76. That was a number I put out yesterday on X. Okay, we got to 523 yesterday. That was the high. All right, 523 was the high yesterday. All right, so you're selling rips up here. You're doing good. All right, you got the week has been hit. Okay, now they're coming in this morning. Let's see. All right. And again, I'm not saying that the market's going to fall apart and this and this and that and this and that. These metals have been hot. GDX is kind of starting to come back down. I'm looking at some of these things right now. UVXY was up a little bit higher now this morning. All right. So, but again, as everybody starts to get back into the world and see what's going on, now all of a sudden they're starting to dump on the UVXYs and trying to get this market back up again. All right, so I don't want to go on too much of a rant about it. Really keep an eye on the bond market moving forward, and I will keep you apprised. And when I do see actionable signals that tell me that something's changing, and when I see a pivot, and I see it, especially at the top of the broadening formation, I will be telling you, and I will be showing it to you, and I will be saying, hey, pay attention to this, okay? I'm talking to mostly people that are younger, that are learning this new, people that have been around for a while. They know this stuff, okay? So that's all I'm going to say is that I will be looking for things that happen at the top of the broadening formations. There's the high, there's the middle, and then there's the low end on the broadening formations. Okay, so we'll see what today brings. Probably not that exciting. We are going into the holiday. I don't expect a lot of things to happen, but I will be watching the bond market pretty closely. Okay, so that's where the focus is going to be going into today and tomorrow. And again, tomorrow could be real sleeper. Volume sees the drops and, sell in May and go away or whatever it's going to be. But we're definitely going to be we'll definitely be watching the bond market closely. All right, that's what I can't beat it up enough. All right, so everybody have a good day, and I'll see you at lunchtime. All right, we'll see what's happening here. See what the day starts to bring. Watch Nike, see if it starts to go up. She raised prices. All right, stock should go up. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, so have a great day, man. Have a great day and be good.